Hey everyone, it's Bobby from Dig Coding here, and this is the 23rd video in the building and launching a real Django website series. So if this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the videos, as it helps me out massively. And look, if you like these videos and you want to support the channel, then visit the Patreon page that's in the description below. And if you become a patron and make a pledge, then you'll be my best mate. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for support for this channel, because the more support we get, the more videos we can put out there, the higher quality and at a faster rate. So that can't be a bad thing, right? So this video is 23rd video. In the last video, we looked at the YouTube API. So in video number 21, we built a scheduler. Video 22, we used that scheduler to call an API to YouTube to retrieve data from YouTube so we can present the videos. Sorry, not present the video straight from the API, but save the API data into our database, then present that data on a media URL, on the media template. We haven't done that bit yet, but we'll do that over the next few videos, because in today's video, we are going to give our pages a bit of a facelift. So what I mean by that is we are going to look at the images that come with the template, and we're going to download some images from, I'm going to use Shutterstock. Now you can download them from other websites. There's a few links in the description below, such as Envato, but I'm going to use Shutterstock. But you need to have the licensing and make sure that you can use the right images on your website. So we're going to do that today. I'm not going to do the whole website. I'm going to probably focus on one page, and then outside this video, I'll then do all of the other pages just to save you a little bit of time. So look at my screen. You can see here I've got the directory open, and the browser is open on Shutterstock. But what we'll do, we'll fire up a virtual environment. So here's my CMD. So straight away we want to do work on did demo. One second, I've deleted the virtual environment to save a bit of memory on my machine, so I'll just install everything. 1 second. Sorry, what I'll do, like I just said, I paused the recording, but clunky as ever. Because now I'm recording a lot of content, I'm starting to use a hell of a lot more memory on my machine. So what I'm starting to do now is delete a lot of old projects from my machine and have a good old clear out. And a lot of the virtual environments just clog up your machine and your memory. So I've deleted everything. And every time I now work on a project, I just set up a virtual environment and then pip install from the requirements file. That's why it's so important that you have a requirements.txt file in your projects. So all I've just done here is I've made a virtual environment like you do at the start of the project in video number 1. Link to it is just up here. So make virtual environment did demo. I've CD'd into did demo because I haven't deleted the project, I've just deleted the virtual environment. So CD into did demo, and then Python, sorry, I don't want to do that. I want to go pip install. And we want to pip install from requirements.txt. I've forgotten the E. There we go. And it should find a file. Yeah, it's doing something there. So I'll pause it whilst it's installing, because that'll take a second. There we go. So I just pip installed from requirements, but then I remembered that in the last video I pip installed Google API Python client, but I didn't pip freeze, so I had to pip install that as well. So you can see I've done that here, and then I pip freeze to requirements. So the requirements.txt file that's here is now up to date, and I've saved it. So do that in your project. Don't forget to do that. So now we're good to go. So I have got the virtual environment fired up. So it's did demo at the bottom here. And we now go Python manage.py run server. It's doing something. Also, yeah, in these videos you'll notice there's a lot of road noise. I've gone through it in other videos before. My office, my studio, is in a very old building on the side of a road, and we're here until we move house, right? So you'll have a bit of road noise, but I've changed the mic position, so hopefully my sound is a little bit better. So let me know in the comments if it is better or if there's more improvement needed. So the server's up and running. Let's go into Chrome, incognito, go localhost right, so this is where we got to, I think it was in video number 19 or 20, we got to this stage, and we kind of went off on a tangent, and we've done the scheduling and the YouTube stuff. But we'll go back into it now. So what we now need to do is now need to start thinking about, amongst other things, images. So there's an image here, there'll be another one that sits behind it. So the static files are being mapped to the images that came with the template. So what we need to do, generally in these templates, you might get some kind of stock photos, but what I tend to do is just leave a grey image with the dimensions, which is really handy actually. So what I tend to do is I open up a notepad. So let's go, new, drag that over here, and I will just save as on my desktop. What have we got? Yeah, just on my desktop, and I'll just call this web images, img, save. Okay, so I'm going to put on this home, header, and this is 1920 by 959. So it's 1920 by 959, I think that was. Yeah, 959. So we've got two of those for the header. The reason I do this is because you haven't got to keep going back in the localhost and flicking between screens, which is a pain anyway. So we've got two of those, if you remember. We haven't got three. They normally have three on these sliders, but we've got two. We can have three if we want three. We haven't got two. We've then got this. These aren't images. These are icons with some animation on them. So we'll keep them as is. We don't need to do anything there. But then we've got this here, which is 1920 by 600, which is just a quote. And then we have body 1920 by 600. So on this we want times 2. And we've then got, so we've got some latest work. So, no, shall we have, to keep it easy, I'm going to take that section out probably for now, so I won't bother with that on this homepage. And then we've got, we are delivering beautiful digital products, so I'll change the wording there on a later video, but at the minute we'll just look at this. So it's 874 by 646. 874 by 646, what was that? Yeah. And then you've got a 960 by 717. 960 by 717. And then what have we got? I'll probably remove that for now. I'll remove these, latest works, remove contact us form. I'll remove that. And then we've got a little footer piece here. So we've done we'll probably do that in this video. We might not get round to it, but this is kind of the next part of this tutorial is 3 or 4 videos going through images, going through content, going through SEO, and then finishing touches really. So we'll get to it at some point in the next 4 videos. Right, okay, so we need, if we open up my notepad, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images to complete our homepage in its current format. You might need more. So we go into my browser, go into Shutterstock. You will need to sign in. Now, you normally get about 10 images free when you sign up to Shutterstock if you haven't already got an account. So it won't cost you anything in this round, but then you can pay a monthly subscription, let's say 20 bucks or something like that, and you will get 10 images a month. So, you know, it's not cheap, but you need the licensing for the images, else you might get a slap the wrist. So if you go into search, I looked earlier and I downloaded 6 images anyway, so I'll be using them, but we download one more now. Development, just see what comes up. And they'll have all sorts. You can have a little filter on the side here, so you can start looking for most relevant, fresh content, all images, photos, vectors, illustrations, blah, 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 blah. And you can go down and you can literally just pick the one you want and yeah, just get it downloaded and get it saved on your machine. So I'm just trying to find, let's change this. Let's go web development. So it's got all sorts on here. Web development, that's more like it. The typo was what got me. So let's go, do you know what, let's just go with this one. I'm going to click on it. You can save it, to a directory, or you can just download it. You can edit the image in Photoshop. I like to just download it, and then I use Photoshop to do what I've got to do, which is what I'll do here. It comes up and it'll say that I've got one download left in my 10, and I'll download that. There you go, and it's now downloaded onto my machine. So that's that. So this morning I looked on Shutterstock and downloaded a whole bunch of them. You know, I'm not too worried about this. This is a demonstration website. So the imagery that I have, providing I can use the images, I'm fine with that. But what you must do is you now need to use Photoshop or a photo editor of some sort to reduce the size of these images, both in terms of dimension and memory. So, because what you don't, if you have very, very big images in terms of memory on your website, that will slow the loading speed of your site tremendously. It will slow down to a halt. So you really need to reduce them down to a point where they're low enough to speed your website up, but high enough to keep the quality. So that's what we'll do today. So let me open up Photoshop. I've got it opened up on my other screen. Come on. Okay, there we have it. And then what we'll do, you can see I've done a lot of thumbnail editing here. If we go into my downloads, you should see a whole bunch of images. So we will select everything that I've downloaded today and open. And Photoshop will open everything. Now I'm not going to do every one of those sizes. I'm going to do one. And now I'm going to leave you to it to do your templates because I want to speed these videos up as much as possible. So the one I'm going to play with, let's have a look. So I've got this image I've just downloaded. I've got this one here. They're all coding type images. I'll use these again for thumbnails, the backgrounds of thumbnails. So I'm going to have this one. I'll have this one just as one of my banners. So if we remember on the notepad that we had earlier, we need a 120 by 959. So what you need to do, you need to click on image and you need to click on image size. Then you can change the width to pixels and we can change this to 1920. And that should do it. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you can get, so it's 959 is the other dimension. So by changing this to 1920, the height is still higher than what I need it to be, which is where you want to go. So if I change this to, I keep forgetting the other number. So it's 959. If I change this to 959, you'll see that this is then lower than what I need, right? So we need to change one of the dimensions that the other dimension is higher than what we required, and then what we'll do, we'll then crop the image accordingly. So it was 1920 and then OK, and then you press Control Plus, it will just zoom in a little bit. Let's go down a little bit. What you then want to do is image, and you can canvas size. You don't want to crop, you want to canvas size. You want to change the height to 959. OK. Proceed. There you go. And that's all you need to do. So the memory will be quite large still because we haven't compressed it in any way, shape or form, but you do that when you save it. So you click on File, Save As. I've dragged everything across to the screen now. Save As, so save on my computer. And what we'll do, we'll change this to head. Oh, so sorry, let's do this again. I pressed enter by accident. So save as, save on my computer, and we'll change this to, keep it as a JPEG, we'll call this head 1. But we want to save this in, we'll go into development, go into did demo, and we will go into static, and we'll start a new directory called img. Open, and we'll save that in that directory. So we'll remap the static mapping in the templates to this new image in a second. So let's save that. And then this screen comes up, and this is where you can really play with the size. So you can see here that if we keep it at maximum, it currently comes out at 926 KB, right? So what we want to do, that's too high. Really, you want your images as low as you can without sacrificing quality. So if we look at, we just reduce it down to, what is that, about 2/3? So quality 8, so it's still high, still quite high. It drops it down to 206K. So that is around where we want to be, really. You could probably go a little bit lower, but we'll keep it at 200 for this tutorial. So click OK, and that's now saved. So if we now go into our Sublime text, if we now then go into main, go into templates, main, and then go into index, which is our home page, we're then looking at this image here. So, and I know that because the title is well, it's gobbledygook. So if we look at our browser, scroll to the top of the page and reload, the first bit you get presented with is the gobbledygook and the image behind it. So I know that that is the image that we're playing around with today. So it's currently mapped to assets. So it's looking in a static directory. We're loading static. It's looking in a static directory, and it's looking for a directory called assets, image, slider, We've just changed that, right? So we have now put it, it's in the main directory static, and it's img, and we called it head_1.jpg. So save it. And then what we want to do is refresh. And that's it. That's all you've got to do. So it really is that easy. You know, adding images to your website shouldn't be that difficult. So the templates will come with a whole bunch of images. Don't use them, change all of them. So identify where they all are, and then get yourself some images. You might have some saved on your machine anyway. You might want some from a local photographer, but whatever the case may be, get those images, get them on Photoshop or another photo editor. Change the sizes accordingly, because if you get the sizes wrong, they won't render right in your template. And these templates have been designed by people that know what they're doing, and they're designed so that they render perfectly on different size devices. So make sure you get those image sizes bang on. But that's it. That's the end of this tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative. Get cracking on your project and do all of the pages, all of the URLs, all the templates. Get them all done before the next tutorial, because the next tutorial will start looking at SEO and content. So thanks for watching. Again, if you want to support this channel, then visit the link in the description to our Patreon page, and any pledges are greatly welcome. So please subscribe to this channel, like the video, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.